Juz 16 continues with Musa alayhi salam and Khidr alayhi salam's story, with Khidr alayhi salam reminding Musa alayhi salam about his condition in verse 75. Do not ask questions. Musa alayhi salam replies, if I ever question you again, do not keep me in your company. This then brings us to the third and final scene between the two. The two are hungry and they arrive in a town whose people deny them food. Yet Khidr alayhi salam finds a wall that is about to fall down. He helps to rebuild it. Musa alayhi salam, once again unmindful of his promise, questioned his act, and this then was the end of their companionship. 78 to 82, Khidr alayhi salam explains the reasons for all the three actions. 83 onwards is the story of the powerful king Dhul Qarnayn, who despite his might was a king of faith. In this section is the account of his three journeys to the east, west, and the central areas, as well as him building a wall to prevent Ya'juj and Ma'juj from getting through. This account is then followed by a scene from the Day of Judgment, concluding the surah with a description of man's limited knowledge compared to Allah's limitless in 109. 110, affirming the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Surah Maryam 1 to 15 is the story of Zakaria alayhi salam and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded to his dua for a righteous child despite his old age. He is granted a wise, compassionate and merciful Yahya alayhi salam, who was also the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 16 to 34 is the story of the most remarkable birth in history, Maryam alayhi salam giving birth to Isa alayhi salam. The reassurance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in 24 to 25 when she is gripped with fear. Then are the instructions on how to respond when people start to blame her. 26, I have vowed to fast and will not speak anything today. And finally, the miracle of Isa alayhi salam talking in his cradle, concluding the story in verse 36. The surah then moves on to give an account of the discourse between Ibrahim alayhi salam and his father, and then the reference to all the prophets that came before and after him, 41 to 59. 60 onwards are the scenes from the Day of Judgment, the destinies of different people, with the final verse in 98 reminding us of the fate of earlier communities that rejected the message, as is the style of Makki surahs. The juz concludes with Surah Taha, where we have the detailed account of Musa alayhi salam 9 to 98, from the point when he received the first revelation, the different miracles that were granted to him, the argument with Fir'aun, his contest with the magicians, Fir'aun's destruction, Musa alayhi salam's appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Mount Tur, and when Samiri made a calf for worship with Bani Israel. The story of Adam alayhi salam in 115 to 124 illustrates the account of Shaitan deluding Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam with the false promises and temptations of eternity. I shall take you to a tree of life eternal and to a kingdom that will never perish. 120. The surah concludes with a reminder of the fate of earlier communities and the warning of an appointed term. Wait, if you will certainly come to know who has followed the straight path and who has been guided. 135.
من أجبت دعاء نوح فانتصر وحملته في فلكك المشحون يا من أحال النار حول خليله روحا وريحا